You're watching Real Talk, though. Hi, I'm Jeff. My friends call me Hefe.
Who this?
Who this? We're in the house. This is episode 2 of the For Life coverage. So we're covering For Life, starring Nicholas Pinnock, executive produced by 50 Cent for the entire season. And this is episode 2 of that series.
Yeah.
The second episode is titled Homecoming.
Yeah.
Aaron is no longer in prison. He's home. Who this? Let's get into this.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Aaron is home.
About time.
He's back. He's on the streets. He got his victory. He spent 9 years incarcerated, and he beat this. He beat the system. He's a legend. What are your thoughts on the second episode?
Well, appropriately titled Homecoming, definitely, for the fact that it's emphasizing like his first full episode not in jail, outside of home. There was a lot of little key points in the episode I liked that kind of touched on the psyche, like we touched on the last episode, the psyche of like what it must be like for someone back home after doing that long of a bid. And trying to readapt, like besides culture, besides like there was that little joke they made about, oh, you only get a hot dog from I think Coney Island or Carnegie's, and like he tells him Carnegie's like closed.
Yes, yeah.
And he has no clue. Like that's cultural references for Staples, New York, but then just the psyche, the mental state he must be in trying to readapt. Like probably jumping the gun here, but when he's cooking breakfast for his daughter, first time out of jail, like. And she's talking to him, he immediately sees her as a little girl he left her as before he went to jail, instead of seeing her immediately as a grown woman she is now with a child and everything too. Yeah.
And there's also that scene where he dreams, he wakes up from a dream of still being in prison. And that seems to address like he's gonna be suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. So he's gonna be dealing with that for some time. We're just trying to get acclimated not only in the real world, but getting acclimated to having his family around instead of just coming to see him all the time.
Yeah, and it's so subtle too because he hears like the sirens wailing passing by, or like clanging doors, the doors open in a certain way. He gets like immediate flashbacks or whatever.
Yeah,
it reminds me. My fault. It reminds me of that one song from Eric B. and Rakim, Casualties of War, where he had that one line that always stood out to me. I think at the third verse, every time I hear truck backfire, I fire back, because he's supposedly playing like a Vietnam vet, whatever. So he's triggered by like little sounds or cues or whatever. Yeah,
that's a good point, because I was going to mention that when I think they were like at sitting down at the table, and he heard the police sirens. And those are things that are going to be with him for some while. Yeah. That was a good key to put in the episode. I also remember I was working with this artist and I was filming, and I took a couple of pictures of him, but it was from behind. And he told me, because he had spent a lot of time in prison, he spent like a decade, and he tells me, don't do that because it brings back flashbacks of just moments of his life where people had tried to take in his life. So that was like a good part of the story, because it brings the viewers in to get them to know, like, yo, this is what it's like. It's gonna take a while for him to get adjusted, and it helps to tell the story of those that have been locked up for a while, and people don't know what they go through. You know?
Yeah, and it's a good thing to do, because you would think like episode 1, season 2, like the show is over. He's already home. He's out of jail. He like chess moved his way out of jail with the warden and all that too. Yeah. But it's far from over as far as he's concerned, mentally, psychologically, emotionally, everything.
Yeah. There's a lot of things there that seeing his daughter grown up now with a child of her own. There was that other scene where he goes into the closet because Marie gets him all these new clothes, sees a pair of sneakers, and he automatically draws back to Darius, who had been with Marie while he was incarcerated. So it was a homecoming, but there's still a lot of things that he still has to address internally, and that people are not going to understand yet.
Oh yeah, there's going to be a lot to deal with.
Yeah. He has a probation officer, not because of the previous incident, but because of the fight that happened towards the end of the first season. What are your thoughts on the probation officer and how he's assigned the task?
When they were hinting at him at first, I thought he was going to automatically be a dick, but they did give the backstory of. I think it's more of just they assigned him. It just so happens to Aaron's case to kind of test him to see like if he'll break or if he'll like just favor him just because like his story, fellow black man, all that stuff too. So he's also under the watchful eye of his superiors, even though the superiors are the dicks. They're the ones that like just see Aaron as dirty just because he was in jail. They don't care about the story or the come up or nothing. So he's just as guilty, I guess, Aaron would be in a sense if he favors Aaron in any way. So he has to be hard on him. Like he's got no choice, pretty much.
Yeah. The supervisor had said, "Well, if you don't take it, I can always give the assignment to someone else." Mm-hmm. And I think his name was Darnell or something like that. He had like a very black name. He was like, "Well, if you don't take it, I could always give it to Darnell." So it was like that was like a test of his willingness to take on the responsibility of being Aaron's PO. Yeah, but I do worry about it because while he's trying to help Aaron a bit, Aaron is giving him a lot of pushback. You know, there still seems to be like a bit of tension because he's like, I can help you get a job. I can help you stay in a halfway house, all these things. And he's giving him a little pushback, you know?
Well, no, the way he was presenting everything, especially the halfway house after he had seen him in the home and saw he has a wife, he has some place to be, it might just be a little weird. Like after, oh, you're back after 10 years. So let's just jump back into bed together. Like that's expected to be odd. But the way he presents it too is kind of like, well, you just got out and you got a PO. So what can I really expect of you anyway, despite your little story? So I don't know how much of that is fluffed up, but like actually worth my time believing in you, changing yourself. Or becoming a new man. I think he still sees him it's like, I would think the PO is kind of unofficially like a hard ass kind of guardian angel on him. Like, you might as well be stuck with me because I'll kind of look out for you, but just enough. I'll still yank on your chain if you get too out of hand.
Yeah.
But I don't see you much more than anybody else I'd be assigned anyway. So it's like big whoop.
Yeah. They're notoriously tough on the people that they have to oversee. Like he says, I'll pop in whenever I want to. You have to be in by 10:59 in the house, not on the porch. And a part of it, from my experience, is not my experience, but knowing people that have been that had to deal with POs is sometimes the PO is there just to get them to fall back, to get them back into the system.
Pretty much,
you know. So it's always hard. It'll be harder on Aaron because he's kind of given. They're hoping he falls back into the life, so they can get him back into the system.
Oh, of course,
and that's usually the case for black men after their releases. They expect them to go back. You know.
Yeah, statistically, they always like set them up that way too, as far as the legal system is concerned, right? Because otherwise, it'd be other options. But if that's the only one immediately they go to, and I guess if they couldn't get them on anything else, or like we can't let them be totally free because then we'll look like total idiots, like Maskins and all them. They had to get them somehow. So why not the route everybody else has to go anyway?
Yeah. Now, he has the PO, but he's also. He was also approached by the man who was pretty much responsible for him spending all that time in jail.
Yeah.
And he's offered kind of like a job, you know. He's offered to come work for him.
Yeah.
You know. What do you think about that? Like, and did he make the right decision?
I think it's tough in Aaron's case just because it's like, yeah, you gotta work directly with the guy who thought you to be nothing more than just scum and helped put you where you were for like 9 years. You can't get that back. Like he made so clear, like the next words out of your mouth better be wise or whatever, because you can't give me back the 9-something years I spent in jail. So I mean, Aaron has every right to be mad, but Aaron also matured, grew, besides, legally law knowledge wise too, as well, as a man in jail, having to see who he dealt with and all that. So to put it behind him is really a test to see if he can, but I understand him being frustrated too. It's right that he is. And Marie getting mad at him for not simply taking the job, it's more than just a job, it's pride too.
Because a part of it, it's kind of like, well, is he just making a deal with the devil? Because that's the same guy that had enough power to get Maskins to be so corrupt, and now pretty much that guy switched on Maskins in favor of Aaron, but he's like, well, I'm going to pay you this amount for you to do this. So it was a tough situation, and then you see what marriage life is like, because the wife pretty much says, "Get your ass a job, boy. You're not going to be here just eating up my food and dirtying up my couch. Go do something." That's pretty much the gist of what happened between them. Is, well, you have a grandchild now. I'm gonna be spending less time at work in order to help out. Money's gonna get tight. You got to do something. So it's pretty much, as soon as he gets out, he has to kind of get back into being the head of the household, being the breadwinner, being the provider. And even though he's accustomed to working for himself, he has to do something to be a man in the house. So that was
I wouldn't be surprised, low key, if he's thinking, man, I should just stay inside. Fuck this. And she's on my ass like a POB anyway.
You remember this? Someone made a joke about it, but it was Nelson Mandela spent 20 some odd years in prison, married, and as soon as he got out, he divorced the wife. Like it was better for him to be without her. Like, so
I think that was Chris Rock.
See. Yeah. So we'll see about that. It's like, yo, he's out, and the wife is already on his ass. Like, yo, get a job, boy. Go do something. And you know what? You got to look at Marie. Like, she's very aggressive. Like, she goes after what she wants. She was the one that pursued Darius when Aaron was locked up, and she was the one that made the first move and kissed Aaron. Like,
that too.
She wasn't like she was like, you're gonna stay on the couch. You're not coming up, but she still kissed him. Like she's one of those women that's like, yo, I'm getting after mine, So
I'm thinking after 9 long years of being locked up with no females, I don't think Aaron did the prison thing they do with the fifis or whatever, the prison made pussies. They take like the towels or like wet paper towel and like put it in the microwave, heat it up, and it's like a pussy somewhat sorts, and they use that instead of beating off at some point. I don't think Aaron succumbed to that, but after 9 long years, Marie's being a hard ass too, like the PO would be anyway. It's kind of like, am I at home on the streets? Am I good either way? But let me try to butter her up anyway too, somehow, some way.
Yeah, 9 years, that's a long time, and it is Joy Bryant. So
oh God,
yeah.
Any less than that, it might be like, I might as well go back in. Let me just go back in. I can't take this anymore. It's hers like, you bite your tongue and like, all right. All right.
Yeah. And now he has, you're watching Real Talk Though. Hi, I'm Jeff. My friends call me Hefe.
Who this?
We're covering the second episode of season 2 of For Life. Second episode is Homecoming. Aaron, the star of the show, is home after 9 years of being incarcerated. He has to get a job. He has to check in with his PO. And he has to help Jamal, who he promised he was going to help get out. And he starts looking into his case. And the first person he makes contact with is Jamal's sister, who I believe her name is Georgia.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that? Because she's a tough one.
Yeah, a real tough cookie. I didn't like her whole demeanor, as far as you can immediately tell body language wise she wasn't going to be receptive of Aaron, whatever the case was, be it for her brother, whatever. It was proven to be that way when finally they get her in court, because neighbors call the cops and she's brought in on domestic violence and drugs they found, or illegal prescription drugs, whatever they found in the drawers.
Yeah.
I love that he set her straight pretty much when she was bitching about, oh, but they found those. I didn't have those really on me. Like, I'm a white soccer mom or whatever. And he set her straight, like, shut the fuck up and just let me do my work. And then you might have a chance to get in the way and not end up like a brother in jail too. So
yeah. Because she was trying to show how unfair the system is, and thinking that was going to help her in the court of law. And it's like, nah, it doesn't really work that way. It doesn't matter how unfair it is. You still broke the law. Yeah. So it was good. It was good that he got her in check. But then you see that even though Jamal went to prison for defending her, she's still doing what got her brother locked up. She's still in an abusive relationship. She's in favor of that. Like, she doesn't care. She doesn't see that she's making the same mistake that cost her brother her pretty much his life.
Yeah.
So
to save her ass, right?
Pretty much. And not only that, even Aaron interacting with her probably puts his life on the line, because he's not supposed to interact with felons, and the boyfriend of Georgia is a felon.
Right. Which I don't get, because I mean, listen, it's bad enough if you got trouble at home with the wife, the spouse, whichever gender role plays, whatever at home too. Okay, great. That's enough of a headache most times. But then when you got your own family acting up and being assholes, being hard-headed, in the case of Jamal, he went to jail for defending his sister. And who knows when he'll be up for, well, no, they said he's not even up for parole no more because the riot,
because of the fight. Yeah,
so he lost that chance to even like see that kind of opportunity just slip away from him. And on top of all that, she just insists on falling into the same trap and setting herself up with the same kind of guy that she should know better about. But I don't know. Is it that just like self-willingness to be like negative towards yourself in that case? Or what even happens there? Why is she even like, why is it no sense knocked into her at some point? What is it going to take?
Well, she's had some sense knocked into her a few times.
Yeah.
I think she just doesn't appreciate what Jamal did. Is we've spoken about this, we spoke about this when in The Godfather, when Michael knocked off Carlo to protect Connie. This is what Jamal does. He gets rid of the person that's abusing his sister, but yet she still falls into the trap and into the same patterns again, not knowing that someone pretty much risked their life to save yours. The best way to repay that person while they're serving time is to better yourself. And you see that's not the case. You see that she's not only within dating the same type of person, but she's accepting of the abuse. She pretty much learned nothing from what happened to Jamal, and by her actions, she really doesn't care, because she's not even interested in helping Aaron.
Yeah, which is pathetic, because Aaron doesn't have to waste his time being a free man, even having to trying to help Jamal that much. He could say, like, in good spirit, like, you do someone a favor, like, oh yeah, I got you, I'll get you back whenever I can, and then just like do something so minor in comparison, or even if you remember, you do something eventually. But he's going to go out of his way. He's reaching out to the sister, getting her out of the cell into the court, into a drug program that she bitched about stupidly, but then still saved her ass anyway. So then, let alone if he gets a thank you, that'll be like fantastic. But then let's see what she does to hold up her end too.
Yeah. because the goal wasn't to help her, keep her out of jail. The
No.
goal is to get Jamal out, and by Aaron's actions, you see that it's a top priority. Like he shows like that's really his friend,
Yeah.
you know. And when you go back to what got him locked up, it was that his friends flipped on him and let him take the fall. But now you have someone who's pretty much gone to jail for his friends, made a friend in jail, and he's working to get that friend out. That shows you a lot about who he is as a person. That's a good testament of his character. Like that's someone you want on your side. That's a good friend to have. You just need the other people to do that. He needs Georgia to do her part, and to see how good of a person Jamal is. Because not only did he go to jail, but he went to jail for defending his sister's honor, and not a lot of people are going to do that. So you got two people. When you look at Aaron and you look at Jamal, you got two people with good character that are loyal, that ride for their friends. I mean, Jamal, in his position, like he's top dog in jail now. He has his own burner phone because of what they did to Cassius. But also their character is they look out for people that they love. And that's important to note about who they are.
Real stand-up guy, that Aaron and Jamal.
Yeah.
Those two.
Very good. Yeah.
Especially Aaron, he's got to do all that standing up in court in that tight-ass suit still.
Son.
And now out of jail. Imagine all the weight he's going to gain back. He's going to have to get more suits now and see if they fit as tightly, as snug as they always did before.
Yeah.
At least in jail, that kept him lean.
I'm surprised he's still wearing the same suit.
Yeah, right.
Like it's like, is that where the power is? Is the power in the suit? Because he got new clothes, but he's still wearing the same suit.
Yeah, and in the suit, it might have shrunk or he got bigger or I don't know what, but it just looked weird in an episode. It just stood out like awkwardly.
Yeah, it seemed a bit out of place because like you don't need to wear that suit now. You're out of jail. But I think there's a lot of power in the suit. And there was a tweet. Someone said, "Well, now that Aaron is out of jail, it's about time he gets a haircut."
That too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking real gruffy.
Yeah, like you don't have to look so rough and scruff now. You're out. So those are a couple of things that we're gonna see. Well, does that change during the season? Does he improve his appearance and his dress code now that he's out? To be taken seriously as a lawyer on the outside, appearance counts and all these things. So we'll see if he makes those changes.
Yeah, and I guess to add on to it, like some positive takes I got from this episode was that I like that, again, his case with defending Jamal's sister was really like short, sweet, to the point, like no real offense, no real nothing opposing him. So he made light work of it. That was good.
Yeah.
And it shows like how much he's, I guess, developed as a legal power, or potential at least. That, and also I like that the son-in-law, or I forgot if they're married or not, like the baby daddy to his daughter's son.
Yeah.
Well, he turned around, he ended up being nice to him too, and like being real polite, and then he insists on, don't call me Mr. Wallace, just go ahead and call me Aaron and everything too. It was nice to see that kid turn around and be nice to him.
Yeah. Yeah, because there was that at some point. I think in one of the episodes last season, he kind of lost hope. He kind of felt like the daughter was just wasting her time trying to get him out. So yeah, that is a good point.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, he was so upset he went to go visit him that one time in that one episode because she skipped school just to see him.
Yeah.
He was like, you need to stop, Mr. Wallace. You need to let her go.
Yeah. And you see that he's pretty much, and you know what was interesting, a key moment was that when he asked for the key, he mentioned how the boyfriend had a key to the house and he did it. It's kind of one of those changing of the guards where not only was Darius the head of the house while he was away, but so was the boyfriend. And now that he's out, he's kind of like staking his claim, like he's kind of getting back to being the head of the house. So
Maybe his logic is that he wears a suit, or he's the only one wearing a suit, so he should get a key at least.
He should get the key. I'm the only man in a suit here, so I should get a key. Yeah, yeah. And so we know that now he has a job by the end of the episode, but he's not working for. Is his name? His name is it Spencer? I believe his name is Spencer. He's not working under Spencer, but he's working with him. He just has his own office, and he pretty much. I mean, the only thing that's changed is that his salary has been cut in half. So he's getting less money from Spencer, but now he has his own office to work out of, because he wants to be independent,
I get it. I respect it. I get it. Maybe it shouldn't have taken him that long to work that out. And maybe in that case, I'll give credit to Marie. Maybe listen to Marie earlier on and think about the fact that, yeah, she's got to work less to help the baby out and all that too.
Yeah.
And there's got to be some money coming to the house too.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a good point. I mean, that was good for him, but yeah, I would have been. I think he could have swallowed that pride a little bit and just worked under him just to keep a full salary.
Yeah, yeah. He has a lot of pride. He's very independent of mind. And then it was pointed out during that moment where they had that husband and wife squabble, where she worried about him being so hard-headed that he would fall back into the same trap that got him sent to prison in the first place. Is that he's very independent of thought. Like, yeah, exactly. That's it. Like, you don't have to be a lone wolf anymore. You got people with you.
Overall, a good episode. Good to see the setting up for a longer, lengthier, girthier season. Pause. Yeah. But I think we got a lot in the store, drama-wise. Now let's see what he does outside now, and outside the suit finally. Be it the prison suit or the suit. Let's see what he does in regular clothing now. Oh no, wait, I'm sorry. He has to work in the office, so he has to wear different suits now, different colors. I mean.
Yeah. Let's see if that changes, if he gets some new suits. And I'm focusing on to see, like, what is the direction of the show going to be now that he's out. Because I thought there were going to be more seasons of him behind bars, but he got out after one season. So now you got to see, well, what is the direction of the show? What are the writers going to do to push this story forward? So I want to see that.
That's a good point, because I initially thought, I don't know if you thought the same, but I thought at least maybe similar shows would have done 2 to 3 seasons, at least in jail, different cases, different situations, like different pushbacks or whatever. And then eventually the final season, or close to last, then he's finally out, and then see how he gets out.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of jumping the gun, but maybe there's something different that we're not expecting. So let's see where it goes.
Yeah, we definitely got to see, what the writers do with that story, because, well, it is based on a true story, and they said it's based on a true story, but just the characters are fictitious. So yeah, I want to see where the writers take that story.
Yeah, right. Well, you know what? I'm just holding out hope that hopefully, if not this season, maybe next season, we get 50 Cent back. What was it? Cassius Dawkins, right? I hope we get him back and he can finally punch out some Nazis or some skinheads.
Yeah, that was powerful when he did it. But what wasn't pointed out last year is that we kind of expected him to not come back, because after all of the weight he put on Instagram, you saw that he had already lost the weight. So by the end of the season, when he had lost the weight, it was like, I don't think he's coming back for the next. I think he just did it just to get some momentum in the show. Like, people wanted to see him, so he went in there just to get people to start watching. He used his power and influence to draw people in.
Damn it.
Yeah. So
I guess he feels safer 40 pounds heavier, be able to beat up some Nazis and Aryans and all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now he's slimmer, now he's second thinking it now.
Yeah.
Damn.
Now, before we wrap up, what do you think the future of Jamal is this season?
I hope they don't jump the gun with Jamal as far as him getting out now. Because if they're planning on doing like a third, fourth season, maybe play that out a little bit to add to the drama. Because if it's only based on Aaron, how he deals with the outside world, while it would be interesting to see how that psyche gets tapped into, for those that have no idea how it works, I think you need both going at the same time to like kind of add to it.
Yeah, because there were episodes last season where you were able to see his past and how he got there. But yeah, there are some parts of that life we can learn about through Jamal. That was a very good point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that works. Yeah. All right. This has been Real Talk Though. I'm Jeff. My friends call me Hefe.
Who this?
We'll see you next time for episode 3. And keep watching, keep following along for life as the season develops. And feel free to comment. Feel free to follow us at ReelTalkTho on Instagram, at ReelTalkTho _ on Twitter, and let's stay engaged on For Life. Next time.